Hey everyone, it's Miss Mayorga again. I am back here with another video. This time we are going to be going over lesson 9 text. All right, so again, just like usual, make sure you have that digital notebook open and you are logged into Code Studio into lesson 9. Let's get started. Today we're going to be looking at text. Essential question: how can we use text to improve our scenes and animations? Learning objectives: place text on the screen using a coordinate plane. Use arguments to control how text is displayed on the screen. Right. Instructions for this lesson: we're going to be completing bubbles 1 through 7. In bubble 5, you will do both activities, and bubble 7 is a challenge, and I actually do want you to do activity A, text color, for bubble 7. Here are the codes, new blocks that we're going to be learning. And just a reminder for this lesson, I will not be grading a bubble. However, what you learn in this lesson will be assessed in future lessons. And this is due by the end of class if you're doing it in class. If not, just message me when you finish it. And these are just some notes if you need to come back and check that out. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to try and fit everything into one video. It's somewhat short, so hopefully we can do it in one video. Go ahead and log in. Lesson 9, bubble 1. Go ahead and continue. Okay, bubble 2, predict the code below. Read the code below and make a prediction. What will show on the screen? Where will it be displayed? So go ahead and take a look at the code that's being used. The first box is text, hello, 10, 200. And the second box is text, everyone, exclamation mark, 200, 300. So what do you think this is going to do? All right. I'm going to go ahead and show space. I'm just going to type there. Okay. And I'm going to run the program and let's test your prediction. So here's what happens. We have two words that show up, the word hello and the word everyone with an exclamation mark. These two values here are the X and Y position of that word at 10, 200 and at 200, 300, right? The starting position of that word. Go ahead and click finish. Text, bubble 3. You can put text anywhere you'd like on the screen using text, the text block. Read the documentation by clicking on the block in the toolbox to see how to change the size and color of your text. Do this, change the displayed text in the provided code, add a second text block to write in a different part of the screen. Okay, so right now, the block says change me and add another text box. So it's giving you the instructions. So go ahead and click in line 2. It's going to highlight the text. Don't delete the quotation marks. You need the quotation marks. But just go ahead and change that to something else. All right. I am hungry. Right? I don't know. Anything you want. Then go ahead and click run. And now you should see that phrase there. Your next task is to use another text block to write a different phrase somewhere else on the screen. So go ahead and pause the video, try it yourself, and then come back. All right. I hope you already tried it. If you did and you had trouble with it, you can go ahead and check out my example. Here we go. Drawing. The text block is going to be in the drawing drawer. Drawing drawer. And you're going to use the text block here. Text. Notice there are 3 spaces right now. The first is str. That stands for string. So that's going to be your text string. And then X and Y are the position. So we're going to grab that text block, add it underneath. Oops, I added it above. Doesn't matter. Add it underneath. Say something else. I like chocolate. I don't know. And if you just leave it where it's at, it's going to show up at the very top, but you can change the position. So maybe I want it over here. I want it to start right here. So I need to look at the coordinates that show up. 250 and 300. I'm going to say 250 and 300. Okay, there we go. We got 2 phrases on the screen. Let's go ahead and continue on to the next bubble. Bubble 4, text size. So as you noticed in that first screen, the text is a little bit small. Let's take a look at how we can change the text size. You can change the size of the text using the text size block. Do this. Read the code to see how it works Add a new text size block to make the word large the biggest. So let's go ahead and run the program. First line sets the background color. Second line is setting text size to 20 pixels. And then any text blocks after that are going to be drawn onto the screen with that size. So the word small is being drawn with the size of 20 pixels. Then we give the, then we give the computer another text size block. So now it's going to change the size, and now anything that's typed after that is going to be in that size. So it's done with 20, now it's moving on to text size of 40. And both medium, the word medium and the word large are written in the same size because we haven't changed the size again, right? They're using the text size 40 for both of these words. So your task is to add another text size block right in between line 5 and line 6 to make the final word large the biggest one out of the 3. So go ahead and try it out, then come back. Okay, so hopefully you went into your drawing drawer, the blue blocks. Look for text size. Grab that, put it right in between, because you need to tell the computer, hey, now we're going to change the size again before you write the word. All right, so that was 20, 40. I'm going to move it up to 60. And run the program again. And there we go, right? Small, medium, large. So remember, anything, right now that we set this text size to 60, if I add more text blocks here, they're all going to be set to 60 until I change the size again. Okay, so just remember that. Kind of like when you're drawing shapes, once you set the color, any shape after that is going to be drawn in that color unless you change the color. Okay, finish. Continue. See, we're already on bubble 5. Okay, so for this one, I do want us to do both activities. So let's start with A. Activity A. Okay, let me just reset this. I don't remember if I solved it already or not. Debug. This scene has all the right code, but it's not in the right order. The scene should look like the image to the right. Can you reorder the blocks so that each part of the scene is drawn in the correct order? All right, so let's take a look at what we have. We have this little snake that should be all the way in the background. Oh, well, I guess the background should be first, then the snake, then the bars, and then the word. That's how it should be. Right now, that's not how it is. So let's take a look at our code. Hint, you often want to call draw sprites at the very end of your program so the sprites are on top of the background, but for some designs, you may want to call draw sprites earlier so that your sprites are on top of some shapes but below others. So up until this point, I've been telling you, put your draw sprites block at the end of your code. But in this case, we might want the draw sprites earlier in the code so that it draws all the sprites, and then everything else it draws after that, it will draw on top of the sprites. So let's take a look at our code and let's take a look at the picture. What should be drawn first? So thinking about the picture, what should go at the very bottom? Like, I guess what should be drawn first? What's the first layer in the painting, in the picture? All right, hopefully you said background, right? First, we need to set a background. Let's make sure in our code that that's the first thing that pops up. Background, great, awesome. Then, what should we have? After we have the background, what should we draw? Hopefully you said the sprite, the snake, right? We want the background, then we want to put the snake, and then we want to put the bars and the word. So we actually want to draw the snake a little bit earlier. Let's grab this draw sprites block and put it in after background. That way the computer draws the background first, and then it draws the sprites, and then it continues on. So go ahead and reset run. Great. So now we have the background. We have the snake drawn behind the bars. The bars are in the correct position, but the word greetings is hiding behind the bars, right? So we have to fix the order of this. Go ahead and take a look at your block. Which blocks do we need to move and where should they move to? Okay, so hopefully you might have said that we need to move the rectangle blocks earlier in the code, or maybe you're looking at the blocks for the word greetings right here, these 4 blocks, and we need to move those to the bottom. Okay, so we need to move either way. If you want to move the rectangle blocks to the top right here, or these blocks to the bottom. Basically what we want is that our code is going to draw the rectangles first, and then it's going to draw the word. So these rectangles, rectangle, rectangle, and then the color, that should come before the word, after we draw the sprite. Oh no. Where was this? I don't want to move that. I'm trying to move these. To move all of these at the same time, you just need to click and drag. Click and drag. All right, so I'm going to grab the fill dark gray and the rectangle box, and I'm going to move them just below the draw sprites block. That way, after it draws the snake, it's going to draw the bars, and then it draws the text. Okay. Oh no, I think the no stroke, the no stroke needs to go here as well, so that the bars don't have a stroke. There we go. So again, the no stroke plus the fill color and the rectangle box should go first, and then the blocks for the text, so that that's drawn last and on top of everything. All right, go ahead and click finish. And let's go ahead and do B, debug flying riddle. Okay, I think I need to restart this. There we go. So when you click on B, the code is going to be in text mode. The scene is supposed to draw a cartoon, but it has a bug, so nothing's happening. What I expected to happen, what we expected is that the image is shown on the screen. What happened, the code doesn't run at all, and there's an error message. So do this, run the code and see the error message. Look for clues as to where the bug is in the code. Once you have found the bug, fix it. What clues helped you find the problem? All right, so let's take a look at our code. What line is the error popping up? Line 19, right? So if we take a look at line 19, we have an error here. Can you figure out why? What's causing the error? Hopefully you said something about quotation marks, right? This is a text, and whatever phrase you want to appear on the screen, it has to be surrounded by quotation marks because it's a string. As you can see, these other text blocks, right? What has wheels and flies but is not an aircraft? They all have quotation marks around them. This should also have quotation marks. So quotation marks at the beginning and then quotation marks at the end of the phrase. Now the error goes away, and you can change this back to block mode if you want to, and you can run the program. Ta-da! Okay, let's go ahead and finish. Move on to bubble 6, and I feel like I'm going to run out of time to do the last bubble, but let's go ahead and move on to bubble 6. Here is a scene, but it needs text. Add 2 pieces of text to the following scene. Make this 2 pieces of text different sizes. All right, so all we need to do is add some text blocks and select the size. So let's go ahead and add those text blocks. I'm going to add it here. I'm going to say hello, and then change the size of it. So remember, you need to tell the computer size first. So for this one, I'm going to make it 20, no, 24. And I want the little alien to be saying hello. So I'm going to put the text right about here, which is at 253 and 117. 253 and 117. Let me reset and run. Oh, it's kind of hard to see my text because it's blending in. So I'm going to put it up here in the sky. So 224 and 25. Okay, 225 and 25. There we go. Let me bring it down a little bit. 35. Yay, so I got one text. Now your task is to add another text. So pick a different size. This time I'm going to go with 30. No, let's go with 40. And then grab your text block. And I'm going to say, wahoo! I don't know, just whatever you want. And I want it to go right about here. So 60, 260. 60, 260. And let's see. I'm going to lower it just a little bit. 60, 250 and bring it back. Maybe to 50. Oh no. Oops, I meant to lower it. So I need to go 270. There you go. Okay, I'm running out of time. I'll pick up on part 2 in the next video, but you just need to add two texts to your scene.